shoes, that man. Dancing shoes, dancing man. What a joke. Joking. Joker. Joking man. The Joker. Does what he can. But again, he's just a man. So, once again, we find ourselves talking into our phone in the deadest of nights. That's right. Our disguise has grown some altitude of guilt after raising the child Wayne in his own manner for his own net of safetyness. But may I just suggest that the villain that is the worst, the one that is the worst of all, is the one that is silent, the one that is unknown, the one hidden behind the veils of all the crimes and the violence, of all the imagined therapies, conclusions of events, and preparing detective events for a child who was lost in his own trauma of death, dismay, and turmoil after losing his parents in such a horrific way. Leaving a theatre on bang bang, they say goodday, perils fall, and a bullet shell hits the concrete on a wet surface. The rain falls and penetrates only the shadows. But the shadows are everywhere. But yet again I prepare the next task for Mr. Wayne. I stir his tea. I make his soup. I brown his toast. But yet, he's the one that knows least, not most. After all, this is my plan. To take his family fortune, pretending to be another man, a joker, a riddler, a penguin that hides deep within the sewers and deep in the dark tunnels, deep within Gotham City. A faceless man in Arkham Asylum, delivering ransom letters for things he does not possess. All this is an invention just for the address of Mr. Wayne's turmoil. But the underlying factor is I'm here for power and fortune, to gain influence, to be the influence, to penetrate the boundaries of government and political statements, to control and enforce my own request amongst the laws and the people that enforce them. Again, this is just the script of me talking into my phone. May not hold any truth or bone. It may not be solid. It could be just fluid liquid dribbling from my mouth. But yet again, the truth, a drop, an essence, an idea. Or maybe it's just midnight and pure honesty has come to fear. If I do not leave it here, then it will be forgotten and I'm lost in the pattern of all the characters I have created for such child's entertainment. In all conclusion, I'm yet to have a fortune, and I'm stirring tea for a 12-year-old man that's already dressing like a bat, who says he's in love with a cat. That's a woman dressed in black that looks like a deep night cat with green eyes and fluffy ears and a long tail that comes and states that she climbs buildings for diamonds with her claws. She's a cat burglar, he says quietly in his whisper. I stay with curiosity to Mr. Wayne. I guess he goes on again and again about a detective quest that I've already known because I was the one that invented it. He talks about a man that he met. Random, but yet I facilitated the entire sequence. I was the one that planted the seed of thought. I was the one who recipe'd such a commodity of my own desire. And out come a script to play my own movie, like a puppet, on my own stage, with my own script. A shadow I am, unknown in the silence. As I perpetuate my journey towards even greatness, with power and fortune, influence, and Gotham City at my beckoning, an island and a jail, just for me, policies of law, I shall succeed. But Bane is on his path. I heard once he had escaped from Arkham Asylum through a brick wall. It did not break his face, it did not break his fists, and yet he charged even further towards the Gotham Manor. One step after the other, pouring rain and thunder lightning, through the day of darkness, for the night of light lit by the full moon. A challenge was soon to be abrupt, where the man that dresses like a bat would be standing before a man named Bane, who claims he's not insane. He's just a man who knows the truth. And the truth is, I've come all this way to spread blood, paint the walls red. But it is not your blood, it is not your paint that I intend to use. It is not your limbs that is my brush. It is yet your butler that you trust. Is yet to tell you he's a double agent. From past to present, a deceptive fucker. I've known since I served as a soldier. And I'm here to tell you, child boy, a man who thinks he's a bat, that this is all just an elaborate trick inside a random hat. One character, one role after the other. He's wound you up and spun you good in webs of deceit and misunderstood childhood drama. I'm Bane, and I'm here to tell you that. I was born in darkness, and I see that. Even in the shadows, there's a man gazing at you for his own potential, and choking your desire to be a man, then face the boardroom of the Wayne Manor Company and all that it has to offer. A CEO on a building top, instead of this bat fighting criminals that were not. Yes, that's right, Mr. Wayne. It is your butler that's driven you insane. Provided you with bat wings and bat ears and the darkest suit to wear at night to scare villains. That's right. And if it wasn't Mr. Alfred, the butler, in your sight, it might have been any other man who would have laughed as best as he can, looking at a man dressed as a bat and speaking as slowly as he can to be an intimidating man. Isn't that right, Mr. Wayne? We do not need to battle. The battle is not with you. It is with the butler. It has served you with years and held you through those tears, all in a deception for your fortune of family, manners, companies, equities, all to be in his hands. And where will you be, child? In a mental institution, claiming you're friends with a catwoman and a man from the sewers? The only contact is from a man writing you riddles. You make sense of that. 'Cause I'm Bane. I may look insane with this mask to help me breathe, and the coursing toxic green calamities running through my veins that give me super strength and insane agility. So I ran all the way here through walls to see this boy child and to tell him, stop. Alfred is the double agent. Alfred is your butler, and yet he is the Joker. That's right, Mr. Wayne. He is 3 men at minimal. A Riddler, a Joker, and a man with no face. Sending you on quest that never end in a detective race to solve crimes and be a hero whenever others think you are of the standard of heroism. And in all reality, it was just him. And he gets to watch it back on his own security TV, eating popcorn and laughing, child, as he laughs at his own outcome of deception and a further dive into your deconstruction. Enjoying insanity is your plea, and your family fortunes are gone. Nothing left except a white walls and a really tight vest. But I'm Batman. But I'm Batman. But I'm Batman. But I'm Batman.
Tappity tap tap. Tappity tap tap.
Tappity tap tap.
How does one share such fantastic and wonderful stories floating around in one's mind? How would one share all without exposing all one is? to tell tales from the dark, decrepit hauntings to the funny and witty adventures of the wild outlooks of early suburbia. To share the stories of admiration and utter disappointment without exposing one's inner demonic entities that fight every happy thought. To read on from interest, inquisitive of the next development. To have you, the reader, engaged. To make you my friend by the end of all that is to be told. This does not require truth at all, for all is not one tone or the other. It is the story that matters. So, all that you read may be based on true events wrapped in fiction. Or is it all fiction, influenced by something that once happened? Either way, I hope you stay. Find a seat as these words capture your attention, and ready yourself for the roller coaster of this emotional, creative dyslexic. Your friend, Mr. Dillon. Read on with Chapter 1. What's the matter, my child? Such doom and gloom on one's face? You already imagine yourself getting up out of the bed in which you sit because you're already so irritated with yourself. Do it. Get out of the bed. You're already lazy, you skinny fat fuck. Get up and do something with your life. So why not? Talk to yourself in your phone as every other fucker will do it. Lazy fuck, get up and do something. You want to practice the voice of the Joker, do you? It's not so irritating as you. Go ahead and read a story or two. Why not get yourself invested in such investigations when you're masturbating by yourself? Get up afterwards and show that you've got something worth showing. Or you deteriorate and masturbate again and wait for your friend that doesn't exist because you got none. It's just you and me, the phone that it should be, and your psychopathic personality. So why not write another story, read it out loud, and see who cares? No one, because no one's going to read it. Desperatity. Take vengeance upon me. As I grow lonely, wandering for a friend, so I create them within my head instead. Do not act upon these foes, and these foes act upon me. I resist. I resist all that they are. Dwelling within my head of black shadows, cockroaches growing about. Personalities exploding. Another day, another dollar. Go, team, go, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fucking go and shit some bricks.
Why not, dear sir? I always comfort you when you're alone, your own vellus in your own swoon, feeling sorry for yourself when there is no doubt. You're definitely alone. But are you lonely? Just sit here pondering to yourself in the darkness of one's dwellings? Of one's creation in your own mind, you could go and do something if you hadn't spent thy money. Against thy will, the will of thyself, you spent it anyway, hoping for a thrill. You got one, and that was losing. Now you feel like a loser. Inevitability. 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 You like that word? Do you like that word? Do you like that word? Inevitability. Do you like the word inevitability, boy? Because it's inevitable it's going to end up in your face. The word inevitability. How the fuck would you spell that, motherfucker? Get up out of your bed. Go and do something else instead. Get up out of your bed and go and do something else instead, you fat fuck. So, what? If I was to talk like this all of the time? This is my consideration after such complex situations, you see. I've been put on reprimand for such jokes that are inappropriate. People did not laugh, but I seen the humor. Seen the humor in each their lies. They lies with their eyes, now I'm confused as to their demise towards me. And crazy as I might be, I'm still an entity. I'm still human, am I not? As the crazy quirks come out. I do like the words R and H. Why? Because they form the sound "rah," which I just find hilarious. But I cannot address what is truly going on. This is just a recording to test the voice of Mr. J. You can call me Mr. J. J. Mr. J. Don't fuck with me! I'll rip your face off your head. I'll wear it on my face instead. And I'll pretend to be you, if only just for a minute or two, but I'll laugh the entire time. So stay in line, children, or your face just might be mine. Fortuitous and circuitous. Understandably. It might just be a voice that I can read and succeed in my pronunciation, for each determined word that is to be said must be read with conviction. There's that a poem from the top of the head. Off the rack it comes and into your mind, heard by the ears. You should have been an actor far ago. You might have even had the positions of such people like Heath Ledger, or maybe even that guy they call Hugo. Never learn, never start. You'll never be and you'll never... Words are lost. For the first time in a long time, no words come to mind. What kind of sublime feeling is this? Alone? Loneliness. Could it be the thoughts in my head were not mine alone, shared with other entities such as these? No words are said, silence. It must just be me. All the cluttered emotions cluttered into a cannon and shot off into the distance towards the castle of Nevermind. Sublime.
We'll try an R&H, just to be hasty with a bit of Rafferty. Explore the boundaries of your enigmatic mind, for heaven is a place if the hells are mentioned. The opposite must exist, one entity to outweigh the other, the balance acquired. Let's try it. Jeffrey! Jeffrey! Jeffrey. Would you come and take a look at this, Jeffrey? It seems to be a story about me. Yes, would you believe it? Come and take a look. Jeffrey, it seems to be a story about me. Ooh. Now this could get interesting. Without a cynical view, I wonder what the boy has to say. So he goes on to say, a story about Joseph Kingman. A true force brought forward by the basic human intelligence to survive, and the nature to question and oppose the ideologies of those who claim sanity. Let's read on, shall we? Joseph was a small boy growing up in a cottage farm on the outskirts of a small town, a town where only small things happen, predictable like clockwork. The small number of people that occupied this town remained in their routines and rarely think of anything outside of their town's experiences. Joseph's father is an antique rescue and restoration man. You know, he fixes the broken things. He finds the problems, glues the stuff all up and sells it on. Or sometimes he would give it back. Joseph was always explaining to his friends and family what his father done for a living. His mother liked baking pies, but never ate any of them, not one. Ew. You see, Joseph, I think this boy has a point. But I can't speak quite as violently. So, how do you turn it into something a little more nice? Do you do it with a smile on your face? I think this might be the secret, Joseph. You gotta smile. Oh, that puts a different tone on it, doesn't it, boy? Just a little bit of a different tone. Maybe this is the secret. But the pronunciation of every word must be correct. And sometimes the tone drops down into a foul, disgusted voice, even though you're smiling. Jeffrey, my friend, would you come and see this? It seems there has been a story written about me. Would you believe it? A story about me. You know I like it when people talk about me, Joseph. No? Jeffrey, that's right, Jeffrey. Fuck. So how would you present yourself in everyday setting if you were to talk like this with a smile on your face? Is it that you would greet people without disgrace? Hello? How you doing there? I present your child who has been unfortunately cared for and survived. And then you'd smile and say, at least they seem to have fun. Why, they were in the presence of yours truly. So would it be that you'd have to start talking loud and clearly to everyone with a smile on your face like you're insane, your words twisted in rhyme? Do they know what you mean? To be called what I've been? A story about Joseph Kingman. A true force brought forward by the basic human intelligence to survive, the nature to question and oppose the ideologies of those who claim sanity. Joseph was a small boy growing up in a cottage on a farm on the outskirts of the town. A small town where only small things happened, predictable like clockwork. The small number of people who occupy this town and stuck in their routines rarely think outside of anything other than the town's experience and the local dead sheep. Joseph's father is an antique rescue and restoration man. You know, he fixes things. He finds the problem, repairs it by gluing it up and stuff, and hands it back or sells it on. Joseph would always have to explain to his friends and family. His mother liked baking pies, it seems, but never ate any of them ever. I sure do love the smell of those pies, Princess. Joseph starting to imitate his father. The pies were always perfect in all sorts of flavors. Some loved and others loathed. For instance, lamb's brains gravy was always a winner. However, pumpkin surprise was always frighteningly dreadful for its surprise. Collecting the currants for dessert was one of Joseph's favorite jobs. He would always eat as many as he could while he collected them. On arrival back to the house, his mother would always say with him, basket in hand and stained cherry lips, "Thank you, Count Dracula." She would giggle and humble to herself. "I am forever your humble servant," she would exclaim. Joseph didn't learn about Count Dracula until later on in life. When he did, he finally realized the joke his mother had always played in that instance. Always intending and always repeating every time he collected the currants for the pie. Joseph burst out laughter, the echoes punching the walls as well as the long-lived punchline, he now realized. As a child, in the dark red-purple stained currant lips, he'd just been staining his lips and chin for days, looking like Count Dracula. Although Joseph did not have many animals... Although Joseph, it seems, did have many animals on the farm. There were cows and horses, sheep, chickens, and the lone fox every now and again. None of them were ever called pets. There were more animals than Joseph could care for alone. None of them ever cared for like loved pets. There were all kinds of stock, work animals, breeding for eating, selling or grinding, so pets were almost foreign to Joseph. Joseph was reminded in a trail of thoughts, trying to explain a pet to his mother. You know, one of those things, a furry thing that you love and hug and you kiss. You know, all that. No, I ain't ever have one of those, Mum. It's called a pet, I guess. I think I would like one day, and I would call it Kelvin. And it would lay on my bed all night, a trail of thoughts expressed to his mother. By a twist of fate, Kelvin would come one day. It does not matter of his origin story, nor does it matter of his fate. Such is long live Kelvin, buried by the pines. There weren't many other animals called pets in the years to come. Joseph simply did not want another one.